Hey y'all, welcome to Tasha Mind Your Money. I'm a mom on a mission to budget smart, save boldly, and show you how we're making progress one small step at a time. Let's get into this week's expense tracking video. Happy Sunday. I sit down every Sunday and I track all of my expenses. I track all the movements going in and out of 3 separate accounts that I budget from. And I'm tracking this video from the 29th of June through the 5th of July. And that is the first week of my July budget. So we're going to take a look at the spending that we've done. And there are 3 categories that I'm tracking specifically. I'm tracking how much we spent for food this week. That's eating out and regular groceries. How much we're spending on car gas and how much we're spending on any household expenses. I think we did pretty good this week staying on budget. And so I'm going to be using my budget recap worksheet also in my 12-month simple budget planner because it's going to help me write down notes and keep track of all the things that I need to talk about in today's video. While I was tracking my expenses, I also tracked the debt payments that I was making so I can see how we're doing with that. We started the month in our joint account making a small debt payment of 40 cents. Every cent matters. We had 3 incomes come in. One of those was some assets we drew from one of our platforms just to get caught up on debt payments and a couple bills. So I did not include that in my budget, which is why I wrote an asterisk next to it. We had some money come in that was transferred from another account. We had some cash come in, and we also paid our car loan. So our car loan was $120. That came out on the 3rd. Geico got a payment of $332 so we can get ahead of it. And that money did not come from our regular paycheck budgets. That came from some assets we sold. I am keeping track, like I mentioned in the short about a week ago. I'm keeping track of gas. We spent $16 and a penny. And this is the receipt that I purchased gas from on the 3rd. So I'm trying my best to keep track of all of these expenses carefully so I know how to budget better in the future. We went shopping on the 3rd, and I did separate all of my expenses by the receipt. But on my expense tracker, I combined what we spent at each store. So unfortunately, I forgot something and I had to go back into Trader Joe's a second time. So we have more than one receipt. On the first trip, I bought 4 containers of yogurt and yogurt alternatives. I bought some cheddar cheese and I bought some chicken sausages for breakfast. The second time I went back, I bought baby spinach. I bought 2 bell peppers and I bought peanut butter. And that's what totaled the $26.13 between those 2. So I'm trying to save space too on my expense tracker, y'all. Then we went to Costco. We didn't get a whole lot from Costco because remember our budget was $97 for food this week. But we did buy the kids pizza, so that was $10.81. And then we spent $50.24 buying some Greek yogurt, some chicken thighs, cage-free eggs. We bought water and we bought a watermelon. And then I went to Stop and Shop. At Stop and Shop, I used a quarter that I had in my purse because I was tracking every dime, y'all, that day. And I said, I'm not going to go over. So I spent $8 from the debit account. And that's what we're tracking today. And then I bought some ice and I bought some pasta sauce so I can make spaghetti for the kids. And that's the last expense that we had for groceries and the last expense we had for everything for the past week. So I'm keeping all of my receipts in here so I can do an accurate tally at the end of the month and see how much we spent for everything. And I have nothing in household. So household is empty. We didn't spend anything. And then $16 for gas. So I'm trying to keep these all together and put them to the side. And we ended week 1 of July with $405.24 remaining in our joint account. So that's rolling over into week 2. And then now looking at my operating account, we started with a balance of $546 in this account at the beginning of the month. I had a little income coming from Amazon. We had a joint transfer of $783, and then we, moved that money around into giving, savings, and all of that stuff, paying bills. We had an inflow of $498, and then of course my payday routine, we pulled all of that money out. I just lumped all of those transactions together so I could save space. And then we made some debt payments. There was tiny debt payments, but again, every cent makes a difference. I transferred $5 to annual bills. I had pulled some summer cash from my envelope and I deposited that into the operating account. So that's $100 that went in there. And then I purchased something for $7.47. This was actually related to the cash. So my boys wanted something from the grocery store. We went and got ice cream and some other snacks, and that's why I spent that money. So I did not track the $7.47. The $7.47 is coming directly from the summer cash money that we used, and I bought some things for my children. We ended with a balance of $94.61 in the operating account. The rest of that summer cash I'm going to be using to pay back the credit card for the rest of the sweet treats that we have planned for them for the next 2 weeks. So we're not even counting that. Looking at my bills account, we started with $77. We made a Quicksilver debt payment of $35, which is an automatic payment once a month. We had interest of 1 cent. We transferred into this account $138 and an additional $25 to pay a credit card payment on the 3rd for $25. So after the money in and money out, we ended with a balance of $180.02 at the end of week 1 of July's budget. So now I'm going to just add up the ending balances in each account so I can see how much we have to work with going into week 2 of July. So Sunday is a nice day for me to reset and start fresh and get a good clear picture of what we're working with. Now I know there's going to be some pending transactions, like we paid one of our utility bills already, so that money didn't come out because of the holiday yet, so it will be coming out sometime this week, and we have $6.97 to start the week with. So I like seeing what we're doing and keeping a note of all the things that are happening, so when it's time to really, set a budget or track a budget, I know what happened the week before. It's kind of like, okay, this is what we were doing, this is what was happening, this is how much we have to work with, and let's stay on top of it. I know budgets aren't like straightforward most of the time. You have to do a lot of checking, tracking. You may have to, make some changes here and there, but at least the most important thing is that you know what's going on. So we added $125 to our vacation fund, and we did pay $25 on debt. However, interest hit, and the interest was like $128 almost. So we still have work to do. We're at $4,987 on the business credit card, and we're going to be attacking that very soon. I did plan a budget for week 2. So the plan was for $1,200, right? Because we're working with a $4,800 monthly budget. Food is going to get $150 this week, and gas is going to get $20. But I did make some changes, hoping that I can bring at least $1,300 in, so that the only thing that's changing on this budget is that we have a little bit less going to the bills account. Instead of $180, it may be $150. So we'll see how that works. I just wanted to give that heads up. And then I'm going back to my calendar because I really want to make sure that I know exactly what's coming up for the next week and see what bills we have still outstanding. I think it's just the gas bill. Even though the gas bill is not due in the second week, it's due at the end of the month. I want to make sure we pay that. And we don't have any special events this week that is coming up, so nothing extravagant, no extra money I think we'll have to spend. There's plenty of areas to take our children to play, so after they come from whatever summer program they're doing, we can take them to a playground. They can ride scooters and ride bikes. The baby girl can run around and get some energy out, and we come back home. We have plenty of snacks, so we're doing good. So continue to mind your money, everybody. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.